So the bed is where you began, and the bed equals faith. It's a very obvious faith gem. Okay, the first of the first. That's where most faith actually happens in your life, because you hear the personal voice of God in your head when you wake up and you're still lying in bed. And when you go to bed at night, bedtime equals Father, and you hear his voice in your head. And God also gives you dreams in the night, which are also his voice in your head on your bed. And you came into existence because of two people making love in a bed. So bed equals 11, the root number of faith, which is 44. And then when you say the bed, that equals 44 perfectly. Faith. Okay? So from before time began, okay, God ordained the bed to equal faith. Because that's what he wants for you. He wants faith for everyone. Okay, you came from a single seed, which equals 33, which came from your father's testes, which equals double faith, and it's all foreordained letter for letter. Okay. Wow, God wants faith from you for your whole life. And so you asketh, seeketh, and knocketh on your bed. Many people do prayer there. And all those words end in keth, 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 which equals the bed, the bed, the bed. Faith, faith, faith. Wow, little kids. Am I calling the whole world back to silent listening for the personal voice of God in bed or at the bed? Yes. Father, or bedtime equals Father. Okay. Just like nighttime equals Father time. Okay. So, more gems from the Lord on the 4th. Okay, I knew I was going to get faith gems today. Because 4th is double faith, the 4th is 11 times 11. Okay, now the 4th precedes the 5th, which is the day of tremendous joy and jubilee and freedom and celebration. And no less, tomorrow is going to be the 5th day of the 10th month, 2020, all which numbers divide by 5. So it's going to be a screaming joy day from God. Okay. What is going to happen, I do not know. That is God's prerogative, but I do know it's going to be joy tremendous. That much I do know. God has already told me that, just as I was waiting upon him in silence, okay, technically on a bed, literally just lying on my back with my eyes closed on a picnic table here in the park, okay? So just more gems come to my mind, okay, while I wait upon the Lord. I am extremely excited, as always. Awesome, okay. So, gems abound from the Lord, okay, and you will hear the personal voice of God on your bed, okay, as you wait for him in silence to speak to you, okay. And that's just plain awesome, man. Because that's what God wants, okay? He wants to talk to you. He talks to you in your head, but you need to show him that you're serious about that by devoting plenty of silent time to him in your private bedroom, okay? Lying on your bed in silence is fine, okay? He will start to talk to you in your head, okay? And the bed equals faith. Fantastic, okay? I love little packages like that, okay? So, today is the 4th, 11 times 11, 4th is double faith. But the word bed equals 11. Like, it's one of the smallest, tightest packages in English language that equals 11, which is the root number of faith, okay? And that's where you began. You came into existence by two people, probably, lying on a bed. And you wake up in the morning, probably, lying on a bed. And that's where God speaks to you. And God speaks to people in dreams in the night on their bed. And God speaks to you at night when you lie down on your bed in silence. So you see how sacred the bed is. The bed equals faith. Bed equals 11. The equals 33. They're all agents of faith. Da-da-da-da. And God speaks to you where? In your brain, which equals 44 equals faith. Okay, so do you see how God always increases your faith? So one way that you'll know one way that you'll know the personal voice of God, as opposed to other thoughts that may come into your head, is that the personal voice of God will always increase your faith. Okay, it's always the voice of love, and it will always increase your faith. Okay, brain equals faith, and voice equals love. God's voice equals God's love. Love is voice, letter for letter, starting at IC, going backwards. And the more that you take off this black, because I don't really need that insulation. The more that you the more that you wait on God in silence to hear his personal voice in your head, and the more that you devote your whole life to knowing the personal voice of God, the more that he speaks to you, gives you, and reveals to you. Okay, the Bible promises that. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Jesus said, okay, when you pray, go into your closet, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. That is to say, he will give you more and more and more. Okay. All right. So, on that note, equals love. Okay. I am going to turn it loose and continue to be led by God. Okay. And it's going to be an awesome transition, because remember, the 4th leads to the 5th, and it's going to be a screaming joy day tomorrow. Oh yeah, I love God. He's awesome.